I want to talk about something that I've been noticing as I work with AI more seriously. Not just prompts, not tools, but why people react to AI so differently and how that reaction completely determines what they're able to build. I don't think using AI is mystical, and I don't think it's threatening. I think it reveals levels of cognitive integration. And once you see those levels, a lot of online behavior suddenly makes sense. Level 1 is fear and projection. The first level that I see is fear. These people feel like AI threatens their identity, so instead of working with it, they attack others for using it. You'll hear things like, "That's not really you," or moral arguments about authenticity. What's actually happening is identity destabilization. They're not building anything, they're defending themselves. Seamless but incoherent. The second level is people who use AI constantly, but nothing makes sense. They sound fluent, they post a lot, but the ideas don't connect over time. There's motion, but no architecture. AI is filling the gaps, but there's no internal model guiding it. The level 3 is functional productivity. The third level is where AI becomes a tool. Prompt in, output out, publish. This is productive, but still reactive. People are building from the present moment, not from a larger direction. Level 4 is integrated sense making. This is where things start to change. AI isn't replacing thinking, it's helping externalize it. Ideas are connecting, systems are forming, and assets are starting to appear, courses, frameworks, and documents. The output doesn't just make content, it clarifies the person using it. Level 5 is future-oriented architecture, and this is the highest level I see. These people aren't asking, what can I post today? They're asking, what am I building towards, and how do I reverse engineer to get there? AI becomes infrastructure, not identity, not magic, not a crutch. The key insight is the real divide is whether AI is you or not. The divide is this: does your thinking make sense over time? What actually shifted for me, and I created a method for this, and what's important to realize here is I didn't move from one level to another by learning more tools. I still use tools to help me evolve. What actually shifted me is happening before I built anything. What happened before I built anything is I introduced the mirror signal method. So the thing that changed everything for me is something that is not mystical. It's just the point where I stopped asking directly from thoughts and started mirroring my own. Step 1 is the mirror. Instead of reacting, externalize the idea, the insight, the urge to build, and you put it into a document, a slide, a framework. Because if a thought stays in your head and you can't tell what it actually is, you want to get it out of your head so you can understand it and see it. This is where observing occurs. Once it's outside of your head, you don't judge it, you observe it. And you ask, does this speed me up or calm me down? Does it connect me to other ideas or does it fragment them? Does it make sense after time passes? If it creates urgency, pressure, that's noise. If it stays steady and integrates, that's signal. Mirror signal is what occurs only after signal is identified can you shape it. Signal gets turned on through lessons, frameworks, systems, and assets. Noise gets parked or discarded. Most people ship too early, and that's why they burn out. Once I stopped mistaking activation for insight, building became regulating instead of exhausting. Structure didn't stress me out, it calmed me down. Clarity didn't come from forcing action, it surfaced naturally. And this connects to something else that I see constantly, especially on Instagram. People are trying to regulate their nervous systems instead inside tools designed for stimulation. They scroll to calm down, they consume regulation content, and they feel brief relief, and then they feel worse. That's not regulation, that is a loop. The crucial distinction is relief is not regulation. Regulation comes from completion, from externalizing thoughts, from finishing ideas, from building something coherent, and that's why building assets regulated me more than consuming advice ever did. And this is where Founder Frames comes in. Founder frames is not my entire system. It's a set of frames of thought, because once the signal emerges, the real challenge is not tools, it's how you interpret what you are building, how you decide what matters, and how you keep your thinking coherent as things expand. What founder frames actually is a thinking layer that I use to orient decisions, avoid fragmentation, build from the future instead of reacting in the present. It's not a come along with me journey, it's a tool you use while you're building your own. This video explains the pattern. Founder frames gives you the lens. AI does not replace thinking, it exposes whether thinking is coherent. And once you can tell the difference between noise and signal, you stop reacting and you start building. I don't move from what appears, I move from what remains.